Dear students, in this session I will discuss about the syllabus of your first PUC mathematics. So I will write the chapter's name. First chapter will be a sets. Second chapter will be a relation and function. Relation and function. Third will be a trigonometry. Fourth will be a mathematical induction. Fifth will be a linear inequality or else complex number and quadratic equation. Sixth will be a linear inequality. Sixth will be a linear inequality. Seventh will be a permutation and combination. Eighth will be a binomial theorem. Ninth will be a sequence and series. Tenth will be a straight lines or coordinate geometry we can call. Straight lines. 11th will be a conic section. 12th will be a limits and derivatives. 12th will be a limits and derivatives. 13th will be a three-dimensional geometry. 14th will be a mathematical reasoning. 14th will be a mathematical reasoning. 15th will be a statistics. And 16th will be a probability. So this is about the syllabus of first PUC: sets, relation, function, trigonometry, mathematical induction, complex number, and so on. In this, the already familiar concepts are this one. Sequence and series you already familiar, that is arithmetic progression. But here we are having arithmetic progression as well as the geometric progression we are going to discuss. And straight lines also you know that is a coordinate geometry or else analytical geometry, where the distance formula, section formula and all those things. Next you are familiar with this statistics in earlier classes, but these are the some extension part we are going to face. And next about the probability also you are familiar. So this is totally 16 chapters are there, but due to the COVID-19 the syllabus will going to cut off or not, still not yet decided by the PU board. If their syllabus is going to reduce means only 30% will going to reduce. If not means all the chapters will be there. And these chapters overall, when we read or when we have the practice, this chapter overall consists of 150 marks. But we are going to face the examination for 100 marks. It means that 150 marks out of 100 means 50 marks questions will be, options will be there. And I will discuss about the question paper pattern also. Before going to that, let us have somewhat recapitulation regarding the chapters whatever we are going to face. See sets. The sets means it is a nothing but well defined collection of objects or else collection of a well defined object. As we know that sets are represented by natural number 1, 2, 3, so on up to infinity. Whatever we are enclosing in a bracket, it is said to be a set, and it should be a well defined in manner. See, 1, 2, 3, they are countable in nature. If this type of we are coming across, then it is called a set. Next, about the relations and function. Relations and functions are linked with the sets itself. So, relation means how the relation problems we are going to face means, for example, if you are having a set A, if you are having a set A value as 1, 2, 3, B value as 2, 1, then how to make a relation means A cross B. If I am asking, the value of A is related to B for each element, then it is be 1, 2, 1, 1, it's a 2, 2, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3, 1. Like that, this type of problems you are going to face in the relation. It's only about the hint I am giving how the chapters are there. Next, about the functions. There are types of functions are there that we are going to read, and any one function you are going to face for 5 marks. Next, about trigonometry. This is also in the previous classes we have studied about this one. Trigonometry, we all know that the trigonometric ratios and functions, sin theta, cos theta, some other extension problems we are going to face. Next, about the mathematical induction. So, mathematical induction means already some derived formulas will be there. This is satisfied only for natural numbers. First, we have to substitute for n is equal to 1. Next, we have to substitute for n is equal to 2 if you are interested, or else take any general number, and we are going to prove the derived result already. Next, about the complex number. Complex number, in the my introduction class itself I have given. The form will be a plus ib. And quadratic equation, we know that what is the quadratic equation? Ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Linear inequality, in the last session I have given that the problems will be like this: 2x plus 4 lesser than 6, like that. Transfer 4 to that side, it will become 2x lesser than 6 minus 4, 2x lesser than 2, 2 to cancel, x lesser than 1. It means that in this chapter you are going to face about the inequations less than, greater than, lesser than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. Next, about the permutation and combination. This is about the new concept you are going to face. This is the extension part is binomial theorem. Okay, when we are going to discuss about the chapter, at that time I will discuss. Sequence and series, I said that sequence and series you are going to face about the AP formula. Nth term, an is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d, and sum to n term Sn is equal to n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. This type of formulas you are already familiar, that is for arithmetic progression. But we are going to face for the geometric progressions also, and the relation between arithmetic mean and geometric mean. We are going to deal about the relation between arithmetic mean and geometric mean. This type of problems we are going to face. Next, about the straight line. You know about the straight line, the distance formula. D is equal to under the root x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. And we also know about the section formula. P of x comma y is equal to mx2 plus nx1 divided by m plus n, and my2 plus ny1 divided by m plus n. So this type of problems will be there, formulas are there already familiar. Based on this we are going to have the problems. Next, about the conic section. Conic section means we should have the knowledge of circles. So circles we already familiar in our 10th standard or 9th standard we can call. Next, about the limits and derivatives. This is the new concept you are going to face. So limits and derivatives, how the problems will be there means, for example, limit x tends to 1, x square plus 2 means you have to substitute the value of x here, then it will be 1 square plus 2, this is 3. So this is generally I have given. First of all we will explain about the limits in our regular class. Next, about the 3D geometry. So as we know about the two-dimensional geometry, the formula will be d is equal to under the root. Now it's a 3-dimension, x axis, y axis and z axis. That is d is equal to under the root x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square plus z2 minus z1 whole square. So like this type of problems, and section formula will be there. So p of x comma y comma z, as like in the analytical geometry, mx2 plus nx1 divided by m plus n and my2 plus ny1 divided by m plus n, comma, here up to here it was stop in analytical geometry, whereas in 3-dimensional geometry it will be mz2 plus nz1 divided by m plus n. So this type of derivations are there. This is the new derivations, but the problems will be similar to that of analytical geometry. Next, about the mathematical reasoning. How the questions will be there in mathematical reasoning means, reasoning means it's a logical concept we have to take. So for example, if I said that Chennai is the capital of Tamil Nadu. See, this is one of the statement. In the mathematical reasoning, you are going to face about some statement, and that statement may be true or false. It should be agreed by everyone. It's not like that some students will tell it's a true condition and some will tell it's a false condition. In that case, it's only a sentence but not a statement. So the name they have given as mathematical reasoning. Reasoning means it's a logical concept. See, I have written one of the sentence. Chennai is the capital of Tamil Nadu, I have written. Is it correct? Yes, it's a true statement. Then we are going to write in front of this, it's a true statement. If I write 2 plus 2 is equal to 5. Is it correct? It is one of the sentence. Is it a statement or not? We have to check it out. When the sentence will become statement, either it should be a true or it should be a false. I have written there one of the sentence 2 plus 2 equal to 5. Is it we people will agree with this? No. We people will agree with this as a false condition. Then we will write here false statement. Like this type of problems we are going to face in mathematical reasoning. And about the statistics, we already know about the mean, median and mode. Some other higher derived formulas we are going to use. As like we are using in the 7th standard and 10th standard the statistics formulas, the same formula also we can use, but for higher values some other higher derived formulas are there. Based on that we are going to find out about the statistics. And next, about the probability, we all know that a coin is tossed 10 times or else a coin is tossed 2 times. What are the possible outcomes? I will write one thing here. How the questions you are going to face means, if a coin is tossed 2 times, I said, then write down this possible outcome means we know that from the 10th standard, if any random experiment is there means we are going to write for the sample space. Then the sample space will become HH, HT, TH and TT. This is the random experiment if a coin is tossed 2 times. Like this type of problems we are going to face in probability. So this is about the slight introduction I have given about the how the problems we are going to face in the chapter. Why I have given like this type means the student should have the knowledge, should know the knowledge about how we are going to face. It's not difficult. See, I have given the explanation. It's all about easy relation function. You are going to have the mapping or relation, linear inequality as like the solving the linear equation, probability as like in the 10th standard, statistics also as like in the 10th standard, like this. Okay. Why? Because whenever we say about the mathematics, students will get fear about that. Oh, mathematics will be difficult. No, it's not difficult. If you are having the knowledge of mathematics since from 10th standard, especially 8th, 9th, 10th standard, if you know the knowledge of fundamental operation, addition, subtraction and some statistics and probability, we can solve any number of problems. So this is about the syllabus, and this syllabus may be going to reduce but not confirm. They may reduce or they may not reduce. It's all about the PU board now. Now I will discuss about the question paper pattern for you people. So how the question paper pattern will there means the maximum marks we have to score as 100. Okay. Time duration will be 3 hours 15 minutes. 15 minutes for reading the question paper and 3 hours for writing that one. So there are 5 parts are there. So first will be a part A, and this is about the 1 mark question, and 10 questions will be there, series from 1 to 10, and the marks allotment will be 1 into 10 is equal to 10 marks. So in the question paper there are 5 parts will be there. Part A, first part will be about 1 mark and questions will be 10 questions, 1 to 10, 10 marks, compulsory questions here. Part B, here also 10 questions, instead of 10 questions 14 questions will be there. And it begins from 11 to 24. Part B, 14 questions are there, 11 to 24. You have to attempt any 10, and it's about 2 into 10 which is equal to 20 marks. It means that 4 questions are option for you people. You have to attempt only any 10. Next part C, again 14 questions will be there. It begins from 25 to 38. Again you have to attempt any 10, and it's about 3 marks. 3 into 10 is equal to 30 marks. Again 14 questions, you have to write any 10. It means that 4 questions will be option. If you are not getting that one, you left it out and you can attempt any other question, and it's about the 3 marks. Next about the part D. And part D, how many questions will be there means it's a 10 questions will be there, and it begins from 39 to 48, but we have to attend any 6. And marks allotment will be 5 into 6 is equal to 30 marks. 6 into 5 I will write, sorry. Next last bit, part E. There are 2 questions will be there, 49 to 50. You had to attempt any one, and it's about one question is 10 mark. Now count it, it's a 10, 20, 30, 30 plus 30, it's a 60, 60 plus 30, it's a 90, 90 plus 10, it's a 100. So this is about the question paper pattern for your first PUC. The same pattern will be there for second PUC. So in a part A, it's a compulsory question, all the 10 questions will be given, you have to write, there is no option in the part A. And it's a 1 mark question, it's easy. Part B, 14 questions, out of 14 you have to attempt any 10, and it's for 2 marks. Part C also 14 questions, you have to attempt any 10, and it's about 3 marks. Part D is about 10 questions, you have to attempt any 6, and it's about 5 marks question. And part E, there are 2 questions, you have to attempt any one, and it's about 10 mark question. Okay, so this is about the syllabus and question paper pattern I had discussed, whatever you are going to face for first PUC. Okay, we will meet with the next class. Thank you.